So, let's talk about crankshafts. Spent a whole lot of time researching some crankshafts here. My favorite's this one right here, PK80. See that bearing in there? All you see are a bunch of rollers. It's a full complement bearing. I call it crowded because you got all them rollers crowded together. Here's another one. All the PKs, 23 rollers in that bearing. Now, Groovy, these are GT5AF bearing here, this bigger one, and this littler one. That's out of the batch. That was a major problem. 13 rollers in each one of these. The rollers really aren't the problem. The cage is. The cage can't handle the loads. The bearing fails. And it's all over after that. Here you can see the rod, the 2 thrust washers, and the 23 roll. Over here I have a 48cc Groovy rod on the right. On the left is the GT5AF rod. This one came out of a stock motor straight out of the box. Look at that huge gash in there. What a shame. Brand new motor out of the box. Guarantee you that rod was gonna break. That's why I take them all apart. Got a couple of the weights for the crankshafts here. The one on the left is out of the PK. You can see it's got a much bigger amount of weight removed from the crank pin side of the crank versus the Groovy, which is obviously very roughly cut. They didn't bother to remove the burrs. Could just see that stuff breaking off and ending up in my motor. What a shame. Over here's a Groovy crank set, split in half. You can see the bearing on there. That's how it goes. With only 13 rollers, you have a lot less surface contact between that pin and them rollers. The 23 rollers, they wrap completely around that pin. Take a look one more time. Tough to get you a nice shot in there, but I'll try. There we go. Can see them rollers shining down the middle, all crowded together. It does have a disadvantage. The thrust washers have a tendency of wearing, but so far I have abused these cranks to no end, and they keep on running. The Groovy cranks gets way loose. They have a lot of play in there for this bearing compared to the PK. When you grab it and you try to shake this rod back and forth, it doesn't go back and forth very much. It's the tightest one I've ever come across. Makes a difference, that's for sure. So there you have it. I've studied all the major cranks. What do you think?